How important is having ballast on the back of your tractor when you're picking up heavy loads? Well, today I'm going to give you some real-world scenarios. Hey guys, Zach here from Kubota Lynchburg, and today I wanted to go over the importance of having ballast or rear counterweight on your tractor when picking up heavy loads. So ballast is usually provided by having fluid in your rear tires when you have a loader on your tractor. Now hopefully your tractor has this. If not, you should probably get it if you have a loader. You might say, I've got a used tractor, I bought one, I don't know if it has fluid in the rear tires. How do I check? Well, it's really easy. Let me show you. So if we look here, you're going to have a valve stem that looks something similar to this. All you need to do is screw off the top of it like you're going to put air in it, use that same valve stem, and you're going to push down on this little needle. If fluid comes out, you've got fluid in your rear tires. Now you do want the valve stem to be towards the bottom because sometimes the tires are only fluid filled to about here. So if you put the valve stem up here, it's going to have air. So make sure it's towards the bottom of the rim when you check it. So that's how you check if you've got fluid. Now, why do you need fluid in the rear of your tractor? Well, you get better traction out of it, it rides a little bit smoother, but most importantly, it's when you're picking up heavy loads. So I've got 3 tractors here today that we're gonna use for this demonstration. I've got an L02 Hydrostat tractor with a loader, with a Kubota backhoe, and obviously, as you just saw, fluid-filled rear tires. So this thing has a ton of ballast on the back. You know, it's got a 1,000-pound backhoe on the back, plus it's got fluid-filled rear industrial tires. Well, then I have another 3902 Hydrostat. Both units just traded in, which was nice for me to use for this video. And this one has nothing on the back, but it does have fluid-filled rear tires. So, you know, less weight because it doesn't have anything on the 3-point hitch or on the subframe. And then I have a 3302, brand new, with agricultural tires because they are the lightest tire option and there is no fluid in the rear at all. So we're going to compare the same pallet with the whole forks and everything on it between these 3 tractors because they're all identical as far as hydraulic systems and everything. They're all the new L02 series, so they should be identical. So we're going to check that out next. All right, so picking up the first load with the tractor with the backhoe goes pretty smoothly. I have the bucket on the front of the load, kind of honestly just teetering there to show how stable it is. This tractor feels pretty good. Even picking up, you know, the 11,000 or 1,100 pounds or whatever it is, the back of the tires do bounce some. You can see it here, a little bit of up and down, which is expected with a load of this amount. But with the backhoe and the fluid, it drives pretty smooth. Honestly, was very comfortable, steered pretty easy to use. See, turn around, no issues. Coming back downhill, a little bit of bounce there, slow it down a little bit, but overall no real issues on it. Bucket not coming off. Next tractor with ballast in the tires, no backhoe. Honestly, it didn't feel that much different to me when just raising and lowering the loader. Not like the next one that you'll see in a second, but this one, not that much different. You can see definitely more bounce. It's definitely not as stable in the back end, coming up more off the ground. And when I was driving with it, I could feel that front end dropping down a little bit more, moving a little bit more since there's not any counterballast with the backhoe on the back. But still pretty stable. Felt really good just raising and lowering it compared to the next one. I did notice on this one when you're coming back downhill that because your load is shifted downhill and it's even taking more weight off the back tires, that is kind of the only time where I noticed the significant difference between that and the backhoe model. So having going uphill where more of the weight's on the back end is good. Here it is without ballast tires. Pay close attention. Not safe. Yep, I might have freaked out a little bit there. It definitely did not go, honestly, it went way worse than I expected. I was not expecting to have to dump the loader like that. So yeah, I almost flipped it over, literally just on flat ground, slightly angled ground, and it almost flipped me over just picking that up. Not safe. You can see some bounce there. We end up taking off a little over 300 pounds off the pallet because honestly, I wasn't trusting myself with it again with all that weight after I almost flipped it. Not worth risking my $25,000 machine. So going up there, you can see some spinning to the rear tires. I didn't have to put any of these models into four-wheel drive until this one here. You don't have that extra weight, that extra grip or traction going on, even though they're agricultural tires. So not only is it not safe not having the ballast on the back, I lost traction, had to throw it in four-wheel drive, and 300 pounds less, it is still basically as bouncy as the middle tractor with no backhoe. You can definitely see still bouncing around while driving. All right, well, that was a little sketchy on that one. Obviously, ballast, much needed if you're picking up a heavy load. On this one, where we picked up the back end off the ground, I ended up having to take off, let's see, it was 190 and 165, about 355 pounds for me to be able to feel comfortable again on it. Because this is a 1,200 pound load, including the pallet forks. So we were pushing the limits of the tractors, but definitely had to take them off for this. So as an operator, a couple things I noticed. Obviously with the backhoe on the back, it just rides so much smoother. It takes out some of that bounce that you feel on the back end of it. And honestly, it steers a little bit better too because you don't have all the weight going on your front tires. It's pulling a little bit off. I noticed on the last two that I did, it steered a little bit more difficult because more weight pushing on the front, less weight on the rear. I had all of these tractors at the same RPMs and all in medium range, so all kind of on the exact same features. So yeah, ballast, very important. The other thing about when you're picking up with a heavy load on the front, please keep your loader low to the ground if possible. Because if you had raised that thing all the way up and it went tipping, you're not gonna save yourself. So keep your load low to the ground, put as much weight on the back of your tractor, make sure your tires are fluid filled, put a box blade, a tiller, a bush hog, anything on the back of the tractor to help out with weight. It is important. And the last tip, make sure your front tires are overfilled with air. Don't let it be at 12 to 15 PSI on those front tires if you're doing heavy loader work, because the tires will pop off the rim. Make sure you've got at least 20, 25, 28 PSI in your front tractor tires. So there you go, guys, ballast up.